Go ahead, I'll show you how to mix your resin. Your resin comes with a ratio, and I think the ratio is 100 to 42. That means 100 parts of part A, which is a bigger jug, and 42 parts of the smaller jug, which is the agitator. You weigh it out carefully using the scale, and you'll have 2 cups. But we're going to pretend you will have 4 of these kits. One is going to be part A, one part B. The reason for that is if you have too much of the resin mixed at the same time, there's so much heat is going to be created within it that you lose what we call pot life. Pot life is the amount of time you have to work with your resin. So if you got too much of that resin, your pot life for 45 minutes will go down to 10 minutes, and you cannot get it done. So therefore, you break the kit down into four smaller kits, and you mix them, use them, and then mix the next one, use that one, then, and so on and so forth. So we're going to pretend this is part B, this is part A. You dump part B in there, like so. You'll have one of these stir sticks. You scrape it out entirely into part A. Make sure there's nothing at the end of it, at the bottom of it. Okay? Then you scrape basically your stir stick on the edge here, so you don't have any of it left here. Then you drop this in there, so less clutter. You go ahead and mix it all up. You want to get to the corner, you're going to get to the bottom, and then you want to scrape the sidewall. And as you scrape the sidewall, you want to scrape your stir stick on the rim of your cup. You're going to do this for 3 minutes. Once you're done with this, this is where it goes. Next, this will be taped to your countertop, like so. So you fold it in half, and this is the halfway point here. You put a fold in there. One piece of tape here, one piece of tape here, just so it stays. And when you fold it on top of itself, you tape it here too. The reason for that is you won't peel it off here. You cannot peel it off easily with this. But without it, it's easy to peel it off. So this will go basically, will get unfolded. You pour some of this resin in the bottom here, about a third of it or so. So your blob of it will end up here. You could grab this and spread it to about 8 by 8. This is 10 by 10. Don't spread it everywhere. Couple strokes, right? And then you grab one of these glass fabrics and lay it over it. As soon as you lay the fiberglass over the resin, it starts to soak up the resin. Then you fold this down, and you go ahead and spread the resin around. As you go around, you don't want to press it too hard because you're going to push the resin out. You just want to push the resin around so it gets soaked up by the fabric. You add more resin, another ply goes on here. Okay, more resin if you have to. You'll get the hang of it once you start doing this. Then you start moving the resin around. You don't want to spend too much time on this because as soon as you start mixing this up, you got 45 minutes to vacuum it and call it a day. So when you've got 2 of these done, this whole thing will come here. When the core comes around, don't play with it too much. Don't drop it. If you drop it, you get it. If there is any sign of contamination, you can wipe it down with acetone. Make sure the acetone is evaporated. Once the acetone is evaporated, you pour some of this resin over the bottom of it, on the bottom. Then you go with your brush and you smear it everywhere. Okay? Once you smear it everywhere, you put it upside, you hold it right side up, and add more resin to the sides. You get the chamfers, basically resined up, and you eyeball it in the center of this assembly here. You have some more resin and apply it to the top. Okay, once you did that, probably at this point, this kit is over, it's done. You mix up another kit. You mix it up, you let it sit for 30 seconds, pour a blob of it here. Again, you spread it over an 8x8 area, but you're going to have one of these in here. You can't just, well, you could do it here, but it's easier to do it here. Okay? So, you go ahead and, grab another ply of fiberglass, lay it over the resin. The resin starts to get soaked up. Spread the resin around. This is actually a lot easier and a lot more fun than you think. This wants to stick to your fabric, you're going to have to deal with that. And on top, don't get any of these the bundles in between, or any of these fiberglass pieces that you don't want in between the layers. Add some more resin. This goes over the top. It takes a longer time for the carbon fiber to get wetted out because the fibers are super thin. It takes time for the resin to get in between them all. Just to make sure the resin gets around. So once you got the resin everywhere, then with your squeegee, point it down this way. So you apply about 1 kilo of force, maybe not even 1 pound of force, and push the excess resin towards where the fold is. Stays on, you go with your shears, and you cut everything, whatever is in between. I've just made a mess with the resin. So you fold this, you flip this upside down, and you peel this bottom piece off. The bottom plastic, this will come off, right? The second one needs to come off too. The second one may not want to come off easily without pulling on the fabric. If the fabric is being pulled with it, you want to hold it down with your steer stick or with your knife. You hold it down like so. This will come off, and this whole thing, you still have the top plastic on here. The top plastic is your transferring tool, so these will not mangle up. This will not get mangled up. As you go like so, you flip it upside down and center it on your project like so. Then again, this corner will get pulled up, either your knife or the stir stick. You're going to have to go around the edges because the edges want to fray really quick. You go like so, and as soon as you got to this point, the rest of it will come off easily. Okay, this whole thing will go to garbage right away. You peel these off, and you get rid of this. Once you got this done like so, you go over with your hand and you work the corners, all the wrinkles out of the corners. You grab your brush and you stipple it, and this makes sure that the fabrics are going to stay. You don't have to spend too much time on this because the vacuum is going to take care of it. But primarily this whole thing is to get rid of any possible wrinkles in the corners. You need to basically tape off the area that you're going to vacuum. So the area you're going to vacuum is going to be about 4 or 5 inches from the bottom of the core here, this way, 4 inches, 5 inches like so. And you only got this much width to work within. I'll walk by you guys. If this is too wide, you just trim off the top or the bottom. You go like so, and at the bottom here, you hold your thumb or your finger here and do a 90-degree pull on it, and it breaks. Basically, the separator plastic breaks, or the tape breaks. And on this side, you want to have about 6 or 8 inches on the right side. And you go like so. You come over, you break this on top here, And make sure that you peel the separated paper off the first one. And there you go. You do this. Now, you see the extra height that we got in the middle? You have to compensate for that. How? So where the edges are, you will cut the tape off like so. The tape will get cut off on four sides, on all four sides. For the pleats, you'll need to cut off a piece that's about 4 to 5 inches. 5 inches, you could cut it by hand or with your scissors, 4 or 5 inches. So basically you stick it to the tip of your index finger, bring the other side to the fingernail of your index finger, and fold it down, and make sure it has 2 feet. 2 feet, about 3/4 of an inch or so in length. And this guy will get attached to this tape here, right across from the razor there. Okay, this tape comes out. This goes up. This side goes up, and you repeat the whole thing all the way around. Okay, so now once you got to this point here, you will grab your peel ply. Peel ply goes right over the top of the square. Okay. After that, so you grab one of these. So this guy goes over the whole thing, and right where the corners are, in order to avoid it to prevent it from wrinkling, you have to slit it in all 4 corners. And you got everything stacked up. There comes your breeder bleeder material. So you go ahead, trim this off. It doesn't have to be dead on. Butt it up against the tape. So one of these will go here. This is a vacuum port cup, puck. So one of these will go here. Then this is probably one of the challenging parts. Because you only got so much plastic. If you shift it to one side or the other, or if you're too generous on one side, you're gonna have insufficient plastic. So what you'll do, from one corner, one side like so, 2 inches on the side and about 1 inch on top, like so. Okay? Now you want to maintain this 1 inch or whatever it is all the way to there. So what you'll do, you peel this off, and you want to be in control of this. You go down with the same overhang. Then the plate on one side will get basically revealed, and you press your vacuum bag down. Make sure the vacuum bag goes down without wrinkles. If you have any wrinkles, it'll cause leaks at the end, and that's going to be a very hectic process to get rid of the leaks. Okay, over here, you want to make sure that there's no gap, no nothing for the air to basically to escape in, basically come in. Here, see, I roll the plastic down without any wrinkles on top of the tape, and then I peel this off. Don't remove all the tape at once. Sometimes, without you noticing, you'd be doing this, and by the time you get here, you go, oh, I'm missing plastic here. What happened? So if that happens, you want to give it a sharp pull. Okay, it comes up. Okay, if you pull it slowly, you'll peel the tape off the table. There. You apply the bag on the tape again. Make sure you do a good job. This is where you want to be patient. Now, if this is done right, I shouldn't have extra or insufficient plastic at the end. Now, it would be safe to stop here and just basically carry on this side here. So lay the plastic down. If I've got insufficient or too much plastic, I could fold it here. Or if not insufficient plastic, I could fold the plate here. See, I've got that much less plastic. I'm shy by half of an inch. But since I started here at the very end, I could manage it. Now, this, I want to flatten it so it'll sit flat. At this point, the clock is ticking, you're sweating, and you hear my name a zillion times. What you'll do, you cut across in this opening without cutting yourself. And the upper part of the pocket needs to go on there, but this has to be flat. If you have any wrinkles here, the plastic in the vacuum bag, you'll have leaks. So this has to be held down flat. You drop this in there, find a way that drops in there, and gently tighten it. Don't super torque it right from the get-go. Just tighten it a little bit. You'll have the chance to correct it. Goes on like so. And so what you'll do, and make sure it doesn't come out. So right now there's air, all that air is being sucked out. As the air is getting sucked out, what you want to do, all those pleats are there to provide us with extra plastic so the vacuum bag will not bridge over those corners. It goes down, the vacuum bag goes down in every nookie cranny and all those corners. Now, at this point, while this is going down, you want to clean your squeegee, make sure there's no resin on it. Okay, because you're going to need it to clean and basically get rid of all of those wrinkles on the flat surfaces. Is it still there? No, we got rid of it. So here, this is how your project is going to look like at the end of the day. You need minimum 20. If you got 24 inches of mercury. And this is a good evidence of having a nicely sealed bag. You can see the inside, the edges of the tape rolled down, and the part is flat. There are no raised portions. There's no hissing sound. And at the very, very end, when you're done, when you're happy, you go ahead and trim the edge of the bag like so. Just in case there is a leak that you missed. You're done in a bad way.